This is London, known for its iconic architecture with a skyline that boasts some of the world's most recognisable buildings. However, amidst the towering structures that define the city's skyline, there is one building that has gained notoriety for a very unusual reason. This is known as the car-melting skyscraper. This skyscraper, of course, was never intended to melt cars, it was never designed in that way. It was just an unintended design flaw. Or, as some evil villain might put it, it's a feature. Located in the heart of the financial district, the building commonly known as the Walkie-Talkie is a 37-storey glass-clad tower designed by a world-renowned architect. It features a unique concave shape, with glass panels reflecting sunlight in a concentrated manner. Whilst it may seem quite futuristic looking and a masterpiece at first glance, the building has faced significant controversy due to its unintended consequences. Unintended consequences such as building a giant laser death ray when it gets even a little bit sunny outside. You'd think that in the UK that we get next to no sun and that this isn't a problem, but you'd be mistaken. It's actually quite surprising that we do get quite a few sunny days every now and again. And when it happens, then, oh boy, you best hope that you're not parked near this building because you might be a victim to its laser death ray. One of the most striking features of this skyscraper is its ability to generate intense heat on the surrounding streets. As the sun moves across the sky, the building acts like a concave mirror, reflecting and focusing sunlight onto the streets below. So, if you were designing a building made entirely of glass, you would think that something like this might cross their mind, what the unintended consequences of using this material are, and if a sun appears out of the sky, what then happens? Well, you know, this is a world-renowned architect we're talking about, but clearly he skipped that lecture when he went to architecture school because you'd think that would have been something that would have crossed his mind. Or maybe, just maybe, he built it in such a way to build a death laser, and he just didn't tell anyone until the proof was in the pudding. I kinda hope it's the second one because that's pretty badass. This has resulted in numerous reports of cars parked near the building suffering from heat damage, including melted panels and warped frames. This phenomenon has been nicknamed the death ray or the skyscraper by locals, and it has become subject to both fascination and also concern alike. Fascination in that this is an incredibly odd circumstance and you wouldn't think a skyscraper would do this, but also concern, mainly if one of these cars was yours, because you'd think parking in a London street, the worst thing that might happen is that some youths might come and nick your wheels, but in this case it is down to a laser death beam, so I don't know what's worse. The building's glass panels, which are designed to be highly reflective, further intensify the concentration of sunlight. As a result, the cars parked within the reflective zone of the building are subject to these extreme levels of heat, causing damage, understandably. This was only an issue at certain times of the day, naturally given that the sun hung in the sky for an hour or two during this period. This allowed the sun to shine directly onto the building and sending the light rays to the southern streets. One reporter even managed to fry an egg on the ground, given how hot these direct beams of light were. Sunny side up, folks. The issue of the car-melting skyscraper has raised many questions about the unintended consequences of architectural design and the impact of buildings and the urban environment. Whilst the building's design might be aesthetically pleasing, and the technological innovative design is groundbreaking for this time, its unintentional effects on the surrounding environment and infrastructure highlight the need for architects and city planners to consider the broader implications of their designs. Basically, sit down and think about these things, maybe do a risk assessment before actually putting pen to paper and building this thing. They have tried to make some works to try and prevent this from happening, but there's only so much you can do when your building is made from glass, and there's little you can do with the weather because the sun is when the sun is. Unless the architects do something more and build a giant fan or something to block the sun out, but then what's the point in that? You're going to live in complete darkness the entire time. So there is certainly no easy solution once it's already done. Maybe just replace some of the materials, but you know what, in the future, you'd think it's a lesson learnt, because otherwise, you're going to be getting quite a few insurance claims coming your way. I just find this entire story just so crazy, and I wanted to make a video on it because I just thought it was funny. I mean, it wouldn't be funny if it was my car down there, but someone else's, go for it. So, which big skyscraper is going to be the next big death ray? Place your bets in the comments, people. I want to know. If you guys enjoyed that video, here's another one just like it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Fantastic.